Mute me, daddy. Oh well.
Okay.
Oh, well.
Well,
Alright,
He's
so
muted.
I'm just gonna introduce this. I'm just gonna give it back to Ian. So before we start, I just want to give a bunch of shout outs to everyone. Especially, this is mostly Ian's idea, and you're gonna hear a lot from
entry,
him.
entry,
And Tree, of course,
mostly
especially
tree,
Lux.
tree kind of.
Yeah, but mainly a lot of people, especially Tree and Lux, for helping us out as well. Especially a huge shout out to Lux, especially with the resource pack, which you will hear later on, and this new stadium. But I think I could give it to you, Ian, and if you all have any questions later on, can all go unmuted and we can answer for you. So yeah.
Alright, guys, welcome. And I just want to start this off with. Alright, so BCMMA, we've had some plans brewing, had some rumors going around, and I would like to formally introduce the BCMMA League. So pretty much, what's going to happen? There's going to be 6 teams. There's going to be 5 teams representing cities and 1 representing a town. So the teams are as follows: Capital City, Covington, Westridge, Ocean City, Palm Bay, and Troutman. Pretty much the regular season for this is going to be 13 weeks. I know it might seem like a long time, but it's going to be 13 weeks of action-packed CMMA action. Yes, I think.
Yes.
Yes, Covington.
And so the season is going to start on May 8th, which is the Friday after tomorrow, so next Friday. It's going to start then with a free agent tournament. Pretty much during that tournament is going to be a time to let you show off all of your skills and to get the team owners to really scout you out and look at you. So right after that tournament, we're going to have a draft. So pretty much we're going to have a snake draft where teams are going to draft you. So, for example, if Tree was the Westridge team owner,
I would probably
he
draft
would.
Big Girl first overall.
Yeah, pretty much. It's pretty much how the draft's going to go. It's going to go in order. Teams, you'll be assigned to a team during the draft. There will be teams of 3 people. And after that, the first tournament will take place on week 1. And week 1 will be the following Saturday, May 16th, and it will start at the Capitol Arena. After that, weeks 2 through 6 will play different arenas around the league. So, for example, week 2 might be in Westridge, week 3 might be in Ocean City, so on and so forth. After that, week 6 of the tournament league season will be the trade deadline and the mid-season draft. So some teams and team owners can trade for different players on different teams, and also they can draft new players if they would like to. Week 7 will be the trade deadline, and then week 10 of the season will be the All-Star game and the award ceremony. So there will be an MVP, and also, if you're in the All-Star game, if you win the All-Star tournament, you win 1,000 Karunas. So this whole thing, I have the whole league breakdown on the document. That's kind of the basics of it. We're going to have playoffs. We're going to have point systems. People will be paid, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, that's pretty much the basics of it. Are there any questions?
Oh, snap! I'm taking that. We the West. Oh,
So, okay.
new slogan.
So
Okay,
obviously, you all heard all this, and if you didn't get anything, we could send it out to you later on. But yeah.
TBI log question. How do you become a team leader? So right now we are giving the mayors of each city and town first picks to be the owners. And if they don't want to be an owner, we're going to auction them up. So right now we have two city teams that are pretty much going to be auctioned. So you can buy ownership of a city team. Those teams are going to be Capital City and Covington. So we're going to take applications for an ownership role. It will also cost 1,500 karunas to own a team. The applications probably be posted
We'll let you
later
know
on
later
today. Yeah. Any other questions?
I got a question. For
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
My first question is, so what's gonna happen with Sprite? That's my first question,
Right.
because I know he's also a team owner. So
Yeah,
how will
so-
like drafting him work?
Do you want me to get this
Sprite.
one?
Yeah, you can get that.
All right. So the way that Sprite's going to work is really simple. Because he is a player in the BCMMA and most likely will sign up, he will not have to relinquish his ownership as a team manager, but instead he will have to draft himself in the first round. So teams are excluded from drafting Sprite, but he must draft himself.
Okay.
Or I just don't
Think of it-
participate.
What I have
Think of
a,
it
I have
as
a,
like
Or
semi-pro
you could-
with
or-
Jackie Moon. Yeah.
I have a
Sprite
second.
can
I have a second question.
sell up his ownership. if he
Would
wants.
would Sprite be able to also, if he wanted to, hire a manager instead to do the draft for him? And so like where like there was no strings attached to it, where he couldn't like where anyone could draft Sprite. That's just my question.
He would have to relinquish ownership of a team. The problem with
Oh, okay.
Sprite and where he is that as a player, he is also an owner. So how do you manage him being both of those at the same time without completely unbalancing teams? So
Okay.
it's not about the manager, it's more about the fact that he can't necessarily go to any other team. So for example, if I for some reason want to first pick Sprite, I simply cannot do so because I own Westridge and
Okay.
he's not going to give up ownership of Troutman.
Okay. Another question. How are players and teams going to end up making money off of this?
So,
You got it.
You want it?
so
Yeah.
yeah, come on, Ian. You need to learn how to public speak. It's okay.
Sorry, sorry. My
It
bad.
tried.
just works here. You know.
This is the first time I'm speaking in months. It's okay.
All right, that's fair. So, the way that players are going to be making money is actually really simple. You're still going to be running tournaments every single week. The way it works is there's a single elimination 1v1 tournament and a double elimination 2v2 tournament. Both of those will contribute to your point total as a team, and whoever has the most teams at the end of the season, the top 4, will be making it to the playoffs. Now, the ways that players can make money go as follows. If you are a team member, or if you are a player on a team, you can win by playing in tournaments and winning tournaments. You can win the All-Star game as an individual, and then of course the grand prize at the end. So basically the answer to how do you make money as a BCMMA team, the answer is just win.
Okay. And then so for like losing teams, they're not going to make any money.
No, most likely not. At the same time though, it also will not be a cost deficit, because what we will require players to do is to temporarily set their homes in an arena, but we will pay for all travel costs so that consistently they can make it to the arena. They're on time. And at the very worst, if you are a bad BCMMA player, the only thing that you waste is time, and you can gain some fun. So if you're not winning, hey, at least you had a fun weekend.
Okay. And then one last question. How's the money going to be distributed between teams and between the team and the player if they win?
At the moment, teams will not be making money. The idea is that by making the team owners the mayors, what happens is that you are, as a mayor, incentivizing people to come to your town. So, for example, me as Westridge mayor, I want people to come to my town. So by having and hosting a BCMMA weekend, then people will come to me,
Okay.
look at the shops around my area. It's just a boost to the local economy because it brings in more players.
Okay. And so even though Sprite is the mayor of a town, he can still sell his team though, right?
So I'm gonna give me a second. I'm going to talk to Luxaholic, yeah, because he has had a question and he's spamming in chat.
Oh, yeah. Whoops. Sorry.
So, is the new system going to charge spectators, and will people win profits from advertisements? So, no, right now, at the way that it currently works is that we have prize pools already set. So we already know what people are going to win already. As for charging spectators, there will be certain areas where we may charge spectators. So, for example, the Westridge Stadium that, of course, you built, we will be charging a per use fee for suites. So I believe it is 200 kronas in Westridge,
150.
150 kronas in Westridge per suite per event. So you
But it
rent it.
also comes with perks and other stuff like that. But
Yeah.
Yeah. So you'll have the ability to do things like get drinks and extra food while you're watching. But at the same time, if you just simply want to come in and watch, we always have the upper level seating and of course the ground level seating. It's for those people that want that spectacular view in the middle, overlooking everything, where we will charge you a small fee specifically in Westridge. Different arenas may have different guidelines. So for example, I'm pretty sure that the Capital Arena has already sold all of its suites. So you can't really charge them.
And we also have the Troutman gym type of thing. It's just going to be a whole thing of stands and yeah.
All right. So Dakman, what's up?
Dakman, yeah.
Alright, so like
How do I unrent an apartment? / AS
that's
unrent.
not my question. So like
Okay. All right, next question.
Or is it?
All right, how do I
every
become a
team-
lawyer? Lol. Next question.
So
Am I
that
blind? Yes, clearly. Next question.
Well,
Oh my god.
Alright, so
Straight.
will each team have
No,
each team have a
Dak. Yeah,
different
ask
arena?
your question, man. I'm waiting on you. You got it.
Quit interrupting.
Will
No,
each
no,
team
my
have a
interruptions are
different arena?
memes.
Oh my god.
What is he doing?
oh my
Look
god,
at his.
I'm
What the
talking
fuck?
whenever you start
What?
talking.
he's talking.
Is he talking?
For the third
Yes.
time.
Oh, was he muted? Did I mute?
No, you're
He was. I muted him.
just
All
like
right.
talking over
Doc.
him
Oh
every
my
time he
gosh.
opens his mouth.
Alright.
Oh, sorry.
So,
You asshole.
Alright, so will each team have a different arena?
Oh,
yes.
yes.
Like if like you had to build that player would have to build their own arena? Or will like
No. The
So-
arenas are going to be owned by the league, so
Okay.
we're gonna provide teams with arenas. But yeah.
Okay.
It does depend on the space, though. For example,
Correct.
the Capital Arena was built with the hashtag Ian money, so he just kind of had the stadium already and the land to build it on. Oh no, he didn't actually. I believe TPC bought it. But
Yeah.
if, for example, like for Westridge, we carved out a plot for him and made sure that he got it. For Troutman literally has a gym. Like I cannot, in good faith, call it an arena. It is a gym, but at the same time, it's what the BCMMA will use. So it's more about what can the league use in terms of space and what can they offer teams. So
Alright. Also, so even if there already is an arena, can you like have like an extra area that you can use or like
I mean, you can have like practice facilities,
yeah.
but depending on the town, I don't think many of them have multiple arenas. I think the only area where that would be viable would be in Capital because they're already too
Yeah.
built,
Yeah.
right?
If
Whereas-
you guys
And
want to
what-
use like a practice ring, we do have the Waterfront Arena and the Mega Arena. You guys could probably use those for practice.
And
Yeah.
I'm gonna be building one also.
Yeah, we do.
But
Where are you planning on building it? Just out of curiosity.
next to university.
Oh, Okay, so lots of arenas.
Yeah, but like now, which what teams are open now, or for to be a thing?
An
I didn't
owner?
hear that part. Yeah.
Covington and Capital are the two. Now, do
Okay.
you want me to say the caveat with Covington? Just because there's been some tea around that area.
Okay.
Fill us in on this tea.
This is up to Ian.
Yeah, might as well.
All right. So there is a question as to whether or not Covington is actually going to exist in the next 13 weeks. If it still does, then we will continue as normal. But if Covington is destroyed, like and just memed to hell, then we'll just have you move cities. Either we may go to multiple capital cities, we might request you move into a town such as Lexford, but either way, we would have you relocate
Okay.
mid-season.
All right. That's
All right, can it be my turn?
Sure.
Okay, so question
Oh.
number one. If I just don't participate, can I not draft myself?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
However, that would absolutely murder the talent pool. I would actually, honestly, prefer if you just straight up gave ownership of Troutman away to someone,
Yeah.
because like that would help the talent pool immensely. My big board that I already have, I've designed it. I've looked at all the people that are there. I'm preparing this like a football GM. Absolutely dies because, of course, Gil got banned, and I just assumed that you had to play for yourself. So if you do not own Troutman as a team, that makes life 10 times easier for
All right,
everyone.
all right.
My
Second,
suggestion, maybe
all
do a
right, you know,
co-ownership and then draft yourself, but yeah.
Well, like, but if he does co-ownership, this problem still remains. He can't actually own it,
So,
and
so
True.
could he stay as mayor, but sell the team?
okay, I have to go. So, one more question.
Yeah.
When is the draft actually gonna happen?
May 8th, I believe,
May 8th.
is
All
the
right,
current
thank you.
date. The way that it's set up is it's going to happen at the Westridge Casino. I'm currently building a fountain. We're gonna have it on a fountain. It's gonna look epic. And then what we're going to do is hold a tournament beforehand, most likely in Westridge, and then immediately afterwards move over to the draft arena and then have the draft. That'll be a
All right,
very fun day.
all right,
And
great. See you guys later.
see, I will also announce when will the rookie showcase pretty much. I will announce that in an hour or two when the signups will be up, and they'll be very soon. So
Okay.
stay tuned for that.
And put a lot of us have been playing over in the Western Stadium. Is that still okay?
Yeah, I mean, I
Okay.
can't imagine why not.
Well, earlier you had been talking about like places to practice at, and you had
I'm
mentioned like 3 different places. So I didn't know if the others were off limit or if it was still fine. So
I mean, doesn't really matter. I don't think.
okay.
So Ben just put in a question. If you buy a team, can you still play in it? And I would assume that we would have the exact same rules that we would for Sprite, but the problem is that like if there are other qualified applicants, you would probably be much lower on the list to own a team simply
Yeah.
because it's difficult to have. It's somewhat of a conflict of interest. It screws up my draft boards, or well, everyone's draft boards, and just makes teams a lot
Corruption.
harder to prepare.
That was corruption right there.
Corruption, pure corruption.
Perhaps.
Right. Any other questions?
Just wondering. So can they sell the So could Sprite actually sell the team instead of just having to give up mayorship of the town?
Yes,
Okay.
because it's first rights to mayor. If Sprite denies, the team as a mayor, then he is well within his right to do so. We're not forcing mayors to take part. We're suggesting that they take part and giving them first priority.
Alright, any other questions?
Let's Play says, how do I get to other cities? You fly there.
Yeah. Just use the airport, or if it
Yes,
helps
Magic
if you
Dino.
get
It
if
absolutely is.
is it
Yeah, it's
illegal to
illegal.
own a practice gym in a basement? I don't think so.
I mean,
Yeah.
as long as people consent to fighting, I mean,
Yeah, you know, as long as you
Yeah.
just consent, that's it. Speaking of the how do I get a cities, probably if you get drafted by the city, maybe just place a home there if it's useful. But yeah, I think that's it. Oh, how do
yeah,
you change? Oh, that's okay.
Oh,
I think that's all the questions, unless I'm forgetting someone. Okay, okay,
Reaper.
Reaper's got a question. Okay.
My question is, how many player base does each team get per city?
The goal is 3.
Yeah. Right now,
Ultimately, the goal is going to be 3, but we realize that there may not be enough of a player base consistently to be there, simply because of the amount of fighters that we have signing up each tournament. But the minimum roster is 2. Because you have a 2v2 and a 1v1 tournament, each team must have 2 players in it. And in case someone goes inactive or something of the sort, we would prefer 3. Now, with that said, there will be a mid-season draft and potentially free agent pools to mitigate potential people who get banned, kicked, AFK, whatever of that sort. So, either way, each roster must field a minimum of 2 players.
okay. And I got a question for after the season ends or whatever. Are we gonna have another draft, or are we going to go into a free agency period? Like, what's happening there?
At the moment, I believe we're going into another draft,
Okay,
but that is up to the league itself and
okay,
how we approach things. Again, it all depends on what the league wants to do. But at the moment, I think we're reserving judgment.
okay.
to be determined. Any other?
Anybody else? Oh, someone does.
Unit?
No, snap.
CDS.
Yeah.
Is Troutman in town? And yeah, Troutman's
Yeah,
just
it's
in
a
town.
town.
It's the only town out of the league and not a city. So all right. It looks like this is it. I will about in an hour. I will put up an announcement of when tournament signups are for the rookie showcase, and if anyone has any other questions, let us know. And thank you very much for everything. I'll just big shout out to Ian, Tree, and Lux for all of their hard work, because this is mainly all of them. So yeah.
Well,
All right. One last thing for people that want to get drafted, hit me up in my DMs. I got a couple of interview questions I want to ask you as a team owner, not as a league member.
hello.
I've already started my scouting.
Yeah. Also, we'll keep you updated on if you want to take ownership of a team. Yeah, we'll we'll
Yeah.
keep you updated on that.
So if you have more questions, just put them in the BCMMA Discord.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I gotta go right now. I'll be back soon. I'll see you all.
See ya.
Same.